Hello, welcome back to my channel. Let's chat. I've got my laptop here. I'm feeling so overwhelmed, to be very honest. There's just so much going on. I am trying to launch a nose-bend challenge for my business. The challenge kicks off on the 6th of December. Today is the 11th of December, and I haven't started making any marketing material or anything like that for the challenge, and I need to start doing that. I want to run ads behind the challenge so that I can obviously get as many people to see it, specifically Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and TikTok. So yeah, one thing that is I'm really struggling with, let me show you, is this is a website. This is the site that I use to host. So this is the checkout page. I'm adding a bump, it's called a bump order, where you add an additional thing at cart for people to add to their cart. So I'm currently experiencing an issue with my payment gateway, where if you add this, it doesn't, so it calculates correctly here, but it doesn't account for it when you get, to the checkout page. So I want this live tonight, latest tomorrow, actually tonight, to get it out the way. And I just picked up my camera so I could chat a little bit about what's on my mind whilst I try and sort this out. So I was gonna do like a get ready with me type video, but it's late in the afternoon. I have a video that I need to shoot for a brand today, and I was gonna do my makeup, but I'm so like, I'm also feeling tired and like year-end fatigue, but I'm still on a go mode because work don't stop. And I just wanted to pick up my camera and chat a little bit. Excuse me. It's year end. People are reflecting on their goals, planning for the year ahead. And I don't know if it's because of how I'm currently feeling, but I'm just not excited about planning for the year ahead and setting goals. If anything, I just want to go about my day and take it day by day and see what happens and what comes. That's just currently where I'm at. I literally cannot get myself in that mindset, and I know there's so much social media content around that, setting your goals and people being optimistic, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but I'm just so exhausted from it all. I'm just literally trying to survive. Specifically now towards the end of the year. I recorded a video earlier today. I don't know if I'll ever share that video publicly, but I did it more for myself, and it was just like a reflection video, basically me coming to terms with the fact that I've worked so hard in my 20s, and now that I'm 30, I'm just reflecting, and I feel like I've got nothing to show for the hard work that I did in my 20s. And I know that sounds so bleak and so sad, but it's just honestly how I feel currently, which is another reason why I stopped posting financial content on YouTube, because I just felt like such a fraud. I've got nothing of value to share in a sense. As much as, yes, I do have the information, I do know the stuff, I just don't feel like that is reflecting in my life, particularly because I started early in terms of investing, relatively early, but the journey, if I look at my investment journey, I'm not where I thought I'd be, and I was just taking stock of what happened in my life and the things that I've gone through that have affected me and given me this like set financially when it comes to investing, and it's just really sad. So I'm kind of like mourning that as well, and just knowing that I feel like I'm like starting over or starting from scratch in my 30s. And then I launched my business earlier this year in June. I didn't share about that on my YouTube actually. So yeah, just the plans going forward in terms of 2024. I kind of know there are certain things that I want to do, but there aren't per se goals around those things. Like for example, I want to be consistent on YouTube again, but I don't have a goal around that. I don't have like, I want to have 50k subscribers or 10k subscribers, whatever it is. I just want to post consistently and be consistent at posting content and getting out of this bubble or the space I've put myself in that disqualifies me from sharing financial content specifically on YouTube. There's only one big goal that I have that I feel very strongly about that I'm not going to share, but it's more of a business goal than like a personal goal. So even if it does happen, it'll be happening for my business and not for me personally. but yeah, like I just feel like I've been in survival mode for the most part of this end of the year, and I think maybe that's also what's taking out the excitement of setting goals and knowing, for me, I think it's just my focus is just on my daily habits and the day-to-day, and just making sure that in the day-to-day I'm reflecting, and I have those like really good habits. But other than that, Sana, I'm just exhausted. If I'm being very honest, I'm not excited in a sense to set goals. I know it sounds so sad and so bleak, but it's just currently the headspace I'm in, and maybe it's going to change as time goes on. But I just feel like so at peace and at ease without having the stress of knowing the type of year I had, and then going into next year with these high expectations, and just knowing the feeling. And I've been going about doing this for the past 2-ish years, where I don't really set certain goals. It was only this year where I kind of set goals, but they weren't really goals. I facilitated a vision board event with some of my friends, but that was God's prompting. God told me to do that event. It wasn't something I wanted to do, and I wouldn't have done it if God hadn't instructed that. So for me, that's a bit different. I don't really feel like that was me setting goals. It was just me doing the action and doing what God had said I must do. And actually, funny enough, I need to go back to a vision board and see if certain things have come through. True, but yeah, my perspective and my approach is just definitely focusing and putting maintenance or emphasis on my daily habits. So just making sure that on a daily I am, in a sense, doing something to help me move forward and get out of the space that I'm in. And that's more like my focus, really. It's not that I want to achieve a certain big goal. I've really let go of those, especially when it comes to social media and vanity metrics. I want to have X amount of followers, X amount of subscribers. As much as I feel like I am in the finance space and all of that, I don't think per se I'm an influencer. I don't think I've got influence in that way. Yes, I do have the information. Yes, I do have a community, but I'm not someone you could say has influence, and that is just my perspective. Maybe someone else might feel differently. So it's just kind of reconciling with that, and just knowing that a lot of what I put out and what I do will always be a slow burn, and will always be met with some type of engagement or response, but not crazy amounts of engagement and response, if that makes sense. So it's been okay. Like I've come to terms with that actually I might not be a traditional influencer in the sense, and just might be someone who people go to for certain information, but not really be fully influenced by them. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So that's why I'm kind of walking away from the expectation of having X amount of followers, whatever it is, because I'm just understanding that maybe that's not something that comes easily or naturally to me. I'm not someone who can grow an audience quickly over a short space of time. Maybe for me it's a long-term game where it takes me 10 years on YouTube. This year was 5 years. 10 years on YouTube to get to 20k or whatever it is. But also I'm aware that I haven't been as consistent as I would like on some of the platforms, and so that's why I want to be a bit more consistent on YouTube. And I do feel like that will gradually get my following to grow per se. And for me, it's not really just subscribership. That's obviously great, but for me, I'm gunning for more views, because I'm trying to get back on the paid partnership program so I can start earning and have that as an income again as before. So it's just kind of being strategic in that way, and focusing on the platforms that reward creators like Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I don't want this video to be too long. I am just spilling my thoughts on things, but yeah, it's just a really tough time like that I'm currently in mentally. I think it also has to do with just like thinking and doubting a lot of things, and being like, oh, if I had a 9-to-5 I would feel a bit more secure with December and my earnings and all of that. But that's a video for another day. And then recognizing, actually, I don't desire to go back to a 9-to-5, so I have to stick it through and make it work where I currently am right now. And I guess that's just part of the process and the learnings. When it comes to goals, if there's any goals or things, it's mostly business, nothing personal. I don't have any personal goals. I literally have let go of, like, I want to lose weight. I'm just gonna be, as I said, focused on the daily habits. That is it. I'm just scrubbing my brain and my mindset clean of expectations on anything on the personal side, and just really like having certain things that I want my business to achieve and do. And I have a feeling that that will kind of spill over in my personal life, where I'm a bit more strategic and intentional about my personal goals, and without really setting any personal goals in a sense, and achieving old personal goals that I might have had, that I might not have the intention now of actively pursuing them. But because of the business goals, they're going to require me personally to be ready and be at a certain mindset or a certain performance level. So yeah, maybe I'm just sending this out or doing this to encourage anyone who might be feeling like how I'm feeling currently, just a bit of a Debbie Downer when it comes to being enthusiastic and optimistic about their goals, to just maybe focus on the day-to-day and maybe just focus on getting by and surviving. I know it's always, we no longer want to survive, we want to thrive, but maybe just surviving and maintaining survival is what's going to help you get to the thriving part of things. So yeah, things are very hard at the moment, but I'm optimistic, looking forward, excited for my business. I'm going to be sharing more around that business building and, you know, building a business and doing a business in the coming year. I think I want to do kind of a series, Journey to CEO series, similar to what Erin on Demand, if you do follow her, does. She used to do back in the day, mostly her day in the life of a CEO or entrepreneur. I found so much value from that. It was really great to see someone building an online business. And I want to do kind of a South African or local perspective. I feel like my YouTube journey has been driven mainly around seeing what people in the US are doing and struggling to find something similar in the South African climate and deciding to do the same. Specifically on YouTube, maybe on TikTok there are people who share their journeys of building a business, but it's mainly more like product business and not like an online business like I'm doing with courses and all of that. There might be people who speak about it, maybe I don't have access to them, but or haven't been exposed to them, but that's kind of the direction that I want to go. So yeah, let's just have hope for us who are currently where I am, that things will get better. And we should just, if you are a person of faith and a Christian, I really would encourage you to hold on to faith, pray, get closer to God more than anything. I think that's what's kept me sane for most part of this year and just throughout my life, is my relationship with God. It's really like, I don't understand people, or not understand people, but I would, maybe let me not word it in that way, but for me it's always been fascinating to just think about how people who don't have faith rather go about their life. Like, how are you living your life without believing in anything? I know I'd be ripped to shreds if I didn't have my faith. So it's always interesting when I think about it. I know someone who doesn't have faith does in my situation, because that's all that's keeping me going at this point is my faith. So someone who doesn't have it, I'm just like, how are you okay? But yeah, just God's grace, and just God will direct our steps and he'll help us. I think the posture and the maintenance and the mindset that we find ourselves in, especially if you're feeling the way that I am, is that you end up leaning so much on God, and you end up aligning so much with what he wants for you. So even the goals that you would have set for yourself don't matter, because you're kind of walking in alignment to what God would instruct you to do anyway, because you're like, God, I don't have any expectations, I don't have any goals, I'm not planning on, I don't have anything set, I just want you to help me. And then he kind of directs that and orchestrates that in a way that can work. So I know I've blabbed for like 15 minutes, but I just felt in my heart to share this with anyone who might be where I am. It's okay not to feel excited, enthusiastic, and ready to set any goals. It's okay to feel disappointed about some goals that you haven't met. And yes, we've seen the social media thing of time is just a construct to put pressure on yourself. But as someone who is an overachiever, someone who does put pressure on themselves, it's not easy to just let go of that idea and say, yes, it's okay. Sometimes you have to mourn that and then decide how are you going to move forward from that position. And sometimes you know your potential, right? You know what you are capable of. And so when you are not operating at the level of your potential, it can suck, it can hurt. And for me, it was just the realization of how I spent my life in my 20s. And yes, there were so many things that were happening that hindered me from producing, performing, and being at a certain level in my 20s, and I acknowledge that. But for most part, I really feel like I could have done better, especially when it comes to the financial part of my life. And so I'm taking this chance in my 30s, using the information that I have and that I know and that I teach others to do better, set myself up for success in my 30s, and just live a more intentional life, even in the hard seasons, still maintaining intentionality. And for me, in this hard, I wouldn't really say it's a hard season, but it's quite a trying season or period. For me, it is the consistency in my faith. Literally, that's the only thing I'm focused on right now. Challenging myself to do fasts, challenging myself to pray more, and just being connected more with God and my walk with God. And so, yeah. Sorry for the long video, but if you've stuck it through until here, you're a good one. Leave me a heart emoji at the bottom, and I will see you guys on my next, hopefully not so long, practical financial video. Bye.